Good morning, everyone. What a
Good.
great day we have today. Hey, look who we have with us. This is Luke,
Brother Class.
Brother Klaus.
Good morning,
Good morning,
everybody.
Luke.
Oh,
It's a, it's Luke
Good
Cataruza.
morning.
Good morning.
nice to see you.
So,
Good
hey, Luke,
morning. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Gaitan. Yes,
can you hear
Brother
us?
Class, you missed me in
I can
Christmas.
hear you very well.
Okay, all right. Well, today we're talking about how dogs enlighten humans to have happier and healthier lives. And I wanted to say, let me just go into this a second. The most important thing to us is that Gaetan and I talked about it, and we have not been sharing with you what we originally started in 2012. So we want to go back to the original thoughts about the Dog Connection show. And that is that we wanted to showcase dogs that make a difference in a person's life and people that make a difference in a dog's life. So from here on in, we are going to be talking about those things, how dogs connect with us at the heart level, how we just are really excited about having dogs in our life. So the first thing I wanted to do before we go into what Lou is here for is there's a woman named Jane Olderman, and she created a video. It was about her dog, and she wrote a song and she recorded it and she produced it. So we want to share with you to set the mood about the dogs that give to people. So let's do that right now first. Okay, let me, oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay. Let me know that you can hear it.
So many in the room, it overflowed. I felt so sad for all those unadopted souls. So desperately in need, but I chose you and you chose me, and so it goes. So it goes. Somewhere along the way, my heart was broken. I lost a piece, but that's okay, 'cause now it's open. And there you were my choice. You gave me purpose and a voice. That swelling in my chest is love filling emptiness. When I found you, I knew you were the one. In your darkest hour, did you know I'd finally come? The past is done and gone. Now we're going home to make a brand new start. When I found you, I found the missing piece of my heart. You're more beautiful than beauty, wild as the wind. With you, I'm closer to God than I have ever been. We've been moving towards each other through endless space and time. Some say I saved your life, but it's you that has saved mine. When I found you, I knew you were the one. In your darkest hour, did you know I'd finally come? The past is done and gone, and now we're going home to make a brand new start. When I found you, I found the missing piece of my heart. And when our time on earth fades into mist, we will meet each other at the Rainbow Bridge. Though it's a mystery, I know it's meant to be. Since I found you, my life's forever changed. You've made me more than I could have ever been. That day I promised to always be there for you. We'll never be apart. When I found you, when I found you, when I found you, I found the missing piece of my heart.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Beautiful song. Yes.
Yes,
Very nice.
I think
That
she
is
did
a lovely, lovely song.
yeah, and hey, Jane is here. She's watching. Hey,
Hi,
Jane.
Jane.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Dale is here
Hi,
with us
hi.
this morning.
Good job. Good job. Very nice song. Beautiful.
Yeah,
And the video was great also. Yeah.
Yep.
yes.
Very
Terrific.
well.
Lou, you're
So,
having a hard time getting settled, huh?
well, it's a small space here, but and there's not that many ledges. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
so
so
here we
now,
are. We're here together on a very, very important mission that
yes,
I'm
yeah,
very excited about. I've been with you, Kathy, for a very long time, and we've known each other for quite a while, and it's always been about how do we really connect this idea that a dog is just a tremendous, a wonderful gift for human beings. They are truly the gift that keeps on giving if we understand, if we really truly understand what the gift is, which this song really says that. You see, it's my contention that we don't really know that. We take kind of for granted that it's a loving, caring, let me hug it, squeeze it, it's so sweet and everything else type of experience, when in fact it spurs our internal, our biological chemicals that puts us in a state of well-being. These are chemicals that people now are aware of, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, that are just waiting for your actions of caring and giving and loving. So when you have this beautiful animal in front of you that you so admire and respect, your actions that you do when you pet them, when you hold them, when you care for them, is biological. And that's the beauty of who we are as human beings, that no one else in the universe can experience the ability to cause our well-being on demand when we see it that way. When we see it from a perspective that it's nice when it's nice and it's okay when it's okay, and I can't always be happy, and the world has got a lot of problems and my relationships are not working, and you operate in what I call a victim operating system, which is what we're programmed as human beings when we're born. But when you have a transformation occur for yourself, you then can adopt what I call a satisfaction operating system, which are principles basically of you understanding yourself actualizing yourself, and understanding that who you are is an incredible person. And this beautiful, wonderful pet that you have is the gift that allows you to express yourself and heal yourself. So I'm on a mission. There are 3.5 million dogs that are in shelters this year, and they need the support. But what's important is that the humans who are going there and adopting and rescuing these dogs, they should understand the commitment that they're making to a life and to themselves. The commitment of, if I'm going to take care of this animal, I know that I'm going to do it well, but as importantly, I'm doing myself well. The discipline of taking care of them well, making sure they don't go back into a shelter, or to make a commitment for life, is critically important for the growth and the well-being of the individual. Now, I focus through my Brother Claus initiative to deal with children, because I absolutely understand the importance of a child getting to be responsible for taking care of their pet. They need to do that. Now I'm in the process of writing a book about that, so that when dad agrees to bringing that puppy home, that individual, that child needs to understand that this is their dog. This is what they are now responsible for. And that process, when they make an agreement with their father that they will take care of that dog, they will love that dog, they'll nurture that dog, that child knows through the book that they're also taking care of themselves. They're spurring on those chemicals that God has given them, and that those chemicals are making and healing themselves, their body. So it is important, critically important, so that we change the paradigm of the way things are. We want to see less dogs in shelters. We want to see dogs admired and respected for the gift that they truly are. And
Right,
that's what we
right.
want to continue in this process. You are doing God's work. You're doing wonderful things to let
Oh,
people
that's great.
know
That's
of this situation.
yeah.
So
Well,
continue what you're doing. Let me help you as much as I can to get the word out. The Dog Initiative, the Dog Connection Initiative is about getting as many people to understand this way of looking at it, this perspective. Because when they do that, they become transformed, they become enlightened. I mean, it's the beginning of a world that cares for each other, that understands that it's a biological function. They have a purpose when they're born to be this way. All they have to do is make the right choice, and you
Right,
can't make the right choice if you don't know it.
right.
And that's the conversation. So I'm
Okay.
so glad I'm
Boy,
here.
yeah, it's
I want to say one more thing before I leave. I want to, not only do I endorse this process, but I want you to know that any help that the audience can provide is critical to this mission. If we have to actually empower and enlighten a world movement for this, it means that we need support and assistance. I have a website LouCataruza.com that talks about these initiatives, and certainly there's a place there to get together and connect, so that if in fact you want to help and volunteer to move this to the next level, we are certainly open to that. So please do that. I think it's an important part of this whole equation is enrolling people into this mission.
okay. That's great. Hey, Lou, we don't want you to go. We want you to stay. But I wanted
I'll be around. I'll be around.
okay. All right. What I wanted to ask you, and the thing that is so important to us on the show is when you think of a dog, you think that if you have a dog in your house and you don't notice them, you don't have any connection with them at the heart level. What we would love to be able to help you do is understand that if you do pay attention to that dog and you realize that that is a gift that has been given to you, then all of a sudden things start to happen to you. And that's really what Lou is trying to say, that at your heart level, if you see that dog, you pet that dog, and all of a sudden, not only are you feeling good, but the dog is feeling good, that's a mutual connection. When your dog is coming to sit next to you, and it could be when you're watching TV or something like that, if you don't notice the dog came over to you, understand they came over to you for a reason, because they wanted to comfort you and well, you know what I mean.
Reciprocally, yes.
Reciprocally, yes. Reciprocally, that doesn't sound right. But when you touch them, then that makes them feel good. It's like built-in therapy. You don't have to take a pill. You don't have to do anything other than search your heart for the things that are bothering you. And lo and behold, there is that dog that is there to give you. Not only, we always talk about unconditional love, but they do so much more. They calm you down. Lou has done so much work on understanding what happens to the human body when they are satisfied and they are living in a state of gratitude and happiness. When this happens, you are happy with your life. You're happy with everyone. You're not the naysayer. You're not the living in a negative operating system. You're living in a positive operating, a satisfying operating system. So think of your body as like an operating system. Do you want to be happy?
Oh, it is an operating system. Yes, it is definitely an operating system.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to say something. Wait, Gaetan wants to say something. Go
If I
ahead.
have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Optional. The human has tendency to worry about the past and be anxious about the future. When you connect with a dog, you connect with the present moment. When you connect with a dog, to my point of view, you connect also with nature. And when you connect with nature, you connect also with the divine. And this is one of the line in the song of Jane. And she's talking about connecting with the divine there. And I think the first step is to connect and be present with the dog and interacting with the dog in the present moment. And that will stop all worry and all anxious and all what about this and why did that and gang. Be in the present is the first step, and be with an animal in the present. That's connect you with that animal, the dog, and the dog will help you connect with nature also.
Exactly.
I think you're right on the mark there. The way the dog is a healing gift. The dog is a healing gift. Now, let me say there are a lot of healing gifts out there. We get a present; it's a healing gift as well because you're moving those chemicals as well. But there's nothing that gives you the longevity of a dog. For a dog lives for 10, 15 years, you have the opportunity of that healing gift working for you every minute of the day when you come from the perspective that caring for them, even just simply the act of feeding them, the act of petting them, the act of playing with them, spurs your chemicals to be able to go to the front lobe of your brain. And it puts you in a different mood, a different mindset, totally in a way that makes all those 100 trillion cells that make your body up happy. And that's scientific fact. That's not a belief system. That's not a anything that's even religious. This is actually just simply scientific fact. They've done studies at Harvard. They studied for the last 26 years. They've done lots of studies, and the movement is starting to finally get to the mainstream where people understand their biology. And if you don't understand that, the dog now is your gift for life of being able to express to it the same way that you express it to your children or to your wife or to your family or to your community. Every time you contribute, every time you give to something, you are spurring those chemicals up. So if you get a dog, this is a tool for you to be able to understand the way to be able to create the joy and love and happiness that you rightly deserve.
Exactly.
And it builds you habits. It helps you build those habits that you need to every day get up in the morning and understand if you walk outside with your dog and you see somebody and you greet and you say hello to somebody, at that moment those chemicals are going to your brain. You're doing something for someone. And the dog is just a gift that keeps on giving. You have to take it and embrace it and understand that. And that's the connection. The connection between knowing that how it helps you to help it.
That's
you
right.
Give,
that's
you
right.
get. And that's really an incredibly important message. And the more we get it out there, the more people get behind it to spread that message, the better the world will be.
That's right.
The more you give, the more you get.
And Gaetan,
exactly.
You were talking about that Jane talked about the divine. She has another video, and I think I put a link in the description about when the song is when with you I'm closer to God than I've ever been.
That's from in her song. That's the song she just played, and that's one of the lines which caught my attention. Okay, that's what I was trying to refer to. The connection between nature and the divine there.
Yeah, and Hero, which is Dale's dog, he's
Right.
always laying on me, and he wants to get petted. Well, that's true of just about every dog. Oh, here we are again with this line in my face. I forgot to put
The
the
sun
things.
is seeking you.
Oh,
The shade.
yeah,
Pull the shade down, Kathy.
it is down, but okay, that's my fault, folks.
No,
So
it's the sun seeking you.
yeah, so Gaetan,
Yes.
I know that this is very special to you because you're very spiritual, and Lou and I are very spiritual. When it comes to the dogs or beings in general, we all talk about we want to have someone that is we want to have a connection.
Hmm.
When you see the connection with a dog, what do you see?
When I see a connection with the dog, I see a connection with another consciousness.
Very good.
Yeah. I don't. I will call that a mini human.
Yeah.
I can use that expression.
Yeah.
There's no copyright on that. I think when you connect really with an animal, you really connect with another consciousness, and it's above just the physical four legs and the the fur and the look, and there's a spiritual connection there, a consciousness to consciousness, when there's a true connection there. And
Yeah.
when Lou was talking a minute ago, I was thinking of example where people love their dogs so much so that it seems that they like less, or they love less, their house, their wife, of their spouse. And my word for that is, great. Have love for your dog and share that love that you learn from the dog with your close relative, your spouse, your mom, your children, your nephew, your neighbor,
Well, that's
and
a
be
that's a
more a
good point.
lovely person. Yeah.
That's a good point, Gaetan. That's a good point. The idea that you can't that you're capable of learning how to love with your dog. That when you learn how to love, whether you learn to love with your dog or you learn to love with anything else, you have just programmed yourself to love.
Mhm.
So now, if you make a distinction, I love you more than I love my wife, then you're not really getting what love is. You're coming from an I need you dog to
Mhm.
love because you don't talk back. You
Don't
don't
argue.
you
No argument.
you don't argue with me, and you know where to go to the bathroom. My wife doesn't do that. So I love you. So 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 he really didn't get what love is. He
Yeah.
got what he thinks love is, which is I need you to love me. And
Yeah.
that's the way it's going to be. No,
Right.
it's unconditional. When you learn to love unconditionally, you get to love everybody, everywhere, and anything.
Yeah.
When
Be
you
like your
really
dog.
truly get,
Yeah.
you really get that you are in an incredible universe of
Yes.
conscious agents
Mhm.
all over the place, and you're one of those, and you're connected to them all. And you bring to that experience either fear, pain, agony, or you bring love. And you bring
Yeah.
love through the act because you're meant to do that. You're wired for that.
Yeah.
You just don't know that. You're living in an unconscious space
Yes.
unless you
Right.
really wake up. And when you wake up, you see the world totally different. Everything
Yeah.
is magical. Nature. Dog is nature. Life is beautiful. And you even go to the extent to understanding, if you really get deep into it, that your consciousness never dies. You
Yeah.
are a spiritual being. You will forever and ever be part of the field that's made up of this energy that we are made up of.
Yeah.
And a dog is a wonderful tool for you to be able to express that, learn from it, respect it, treat it well. And if we get the world to understand this, it'll be a different place. It'll be what it's meant to be. It's meant to be the best it could be.
Yeah.
All we have to do is help live into it.
Yeah. And one of the example in the daily life of the dog is the dog, as you said, don't argue with you. There's no argument. It's just like a relationship and it's work. Do the same thing with your spouse, and your relationship with your spouse would be 1,000% better. Most of the time, people argue with each other. They don't listen to each other. They try to have the best argument. Stop arguing.
Yeah, right. And
Like
listen.
you do with
listen.
your dog.
Why
Just
not listen
listen.
for a change?
And listen,
Kathy,
there
we'll
is,
listen
you know,
to you.
look, we're humans and we have human frailties. And of course, as you get my age, you hope to have less human frailties. You understand you have an ego. You understand you think who you think you are sometimes. You try to come out and just get out of that place and be transparent and simply love people for the way they are and understand their frailty, that they have issues going on in their heads. They think of the world differently than you do, maybe. But it may be because they're living in a victim operating system. They've been programmed early on. That's the way that the humans were for the last hundreds of thousands of years. You know, they worried about a fear. They had fear and flight. Now we've evolved. We've evolved into this aspect of being more spiritual and understanding the bigger picture. Science has served us to do that. And when we didn't have science to do that, we had belief systems that helped us do that. And some of us said, well, you know, there's a belief system. I don't know if I believe it. But now science says that's the way it also is. So you have an understanding of yourself. You have self-actualized when you come to this perspective. And a dog, there isn't any, listen, there may be a cow. There may be a dog. There may be a cat. There may be a sheep. It doesn't matter. They are there. I mean, it's very hard to fit a cow in my living room. But a dog is great.
Yeah. You know, so here's the thing that I look at. If you're not connected to your dog, the tendency to abuse them is very high. The tendency to take out your frustrations and your anger is very high. When you realize, like Eitan said, that this is a being, this is a consciousness, this is a living thing, and their purpose is to help us be happy. If we recognize that and we bring that into our heart, then I truly believe that hitting an animal is not the answer. And if in any way we can help people stop from hitting an animal or hurting an animal and having a better life, because let's face it, you hit an animal or a spouse or anyone because you're a miserable SOB. and you're just finding that life.
You're right. You're right. The problem is again, is people don't understand who they really are. Look, the dog is there for many reasons. Certainly they are loved because they know when they give love, they get. They know when they're nice, they get. When they're angry and they're vicious and they want to bite, it's because inside them that they have that animal fear. Now, you know, and wild animals have that animal fear in them. But when a domesticated animal is domesticated, is because they've been domesticated, like Milan. What's his name? Milan. Caesar Milan gets to really express that, is because they have learned that you are there to love them, to care for them. I need my food. Please give me my food. Please give me my plate. Please take me out and let me do it outside. Let me be what you want, you know, so that I can go on your lap and be there for you to pet me. Yes, that's the extent of who they are. That's the gift that you have to be able to express the best in you. And it's biological. Again, it's all scientific. You give and you get. You love and you get. That's it. Now that the thing is, I want to have as many people realize that dogs that are in cages right now, 3.5 million of them out there, need to find a home. They need
Right.
to find someone to express the best that they could be. But if somebody goes in there and gets a dog because it's sweet and cute and lovely, and then goes home and argues with his wife and has all kinds of things, get that thing out of here, blah, blah, blah. That's the light they are. That affects that dog, and that dog goes back into that kennel. And we
Right.
don't want that. We
Right.
want the
We don't want
human
it.
we want the human to transcend that, to know about themselves so they can benefit from the gift a dog actually is. Now,
Yes.
unfortunately, Kathy, I have 10% left on this phone,
Okay.
so I
All
don't
right.
want to
Thank
be
you,
able to
Lou.
just wire it out. So thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me, and I look so forward to continuing this conversation. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Lou.
you.
Remember
Bye.
to go to lucataruza.com for more information. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, Gaetan. So when we look at what is it I want to say? When we look at the dogs and we see all the things that we can offer to people, what do we want to say to them when they get a dog? Don't have high expectations. Know what your reasons are for getting a dog. Understand the responsibilities that you have to undertake. Know that you're bringing a human, almost human. I think a lot of times dogs are really human. They seem to understand. I can do dog talk really easy.
Mini human.
Mini human, right? Yeah. So when we look at a dog, let's try really, really very hard to realize that they have the power, they have the ability to bring something into our hearts and into our lives that it's like magic. They have the ability to calm us down. If you haven't done it before, if you walk in the door after a long day's work and you're irritated or you're upset and that dog comes over to you and that tail is wagging and you're feeling to yourself, I don't feel any problems that I had during the day. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling happy. I got
Yeah.
to see that happy face that hit with they're not there to tell you what a miserable day they had. They were just there to tell you, "Oh, I'm so happy you're home, Dad. I'm so
You're
happy
back.
you're home." What?
You're back.
Yeah, you're
You're
back.
home.
Yeah,
You can relax now. Leave
exactly.
your problem at the door. Don't bring your problem from the office at the house, and don't bring the problem of the house at the office.
Exactly.
Keep that separate.
Exactly. And I had a couple of pictures here that, when if you have not looked your dog in the eye, look at your dog in the eye and see, here's a dog. Is he not happy? Is he not happy and content? Look at here.
Yeah.
The look of love, contentment, loyalty, honesty. They just love to be petted and loved and cared for. How can we resist looks like this? And the gentleness and the warmth that they give us under any circumstances. They
Mhm.
want to watch us. They want to see every movement that we make. It just blows my dress up. So with that, you have a video. We'll close with the video, and
Your expression.
we'll close with the video that tell us what this is about, Gaetan.
It's the Naperville Area Humane Society who produced that video. And we remember we have Laurie from the Humane Society. We have several video produced, but this one never been presented. And their video is about a program called Pause for Tail. And it goes with children at school or in the library. And service dog are there to help the children to be more comfortable with the process of reading. And it's a very interesting program, and it's one of many programs in that regard where a dog is there to interact with a child and help the child to overcome difficulty, like in this case, reading. And it's a
Okay.
short video, but it's very worth to be seen. And here it is.
When it comes to education and teaching children, we all know that kids learn at a different pace, but some struggle to keep up or to grasp a new concept. They may feel judged by their peers or sad with themselves. Parents and educators will tell you, that's the moment you can lose a child, when they shut down or get frustrated about learning new things. Even working one-on-one can make them feel anxious or overwhelmed about the process. The Naperville Area Humane Society had a program they thought could help, especially in the area of reading. So they went to local schools, and schools welcomed in a dog.
Garrett has a very interesting story. He was bred and raised to be a service dog for Canine Companions for Independence. I was fortunate enough to meet him at 17 months old, and I fell in love with him.
After retiring from teaching, Mary was looking for a way to give back that included Garrett. So, Mary went to the Naperville Area Humane Society.
Is there any program I can do here with a dog in schools? And they told me about the Paws for Tails reading program, and it was a perfect fit.
It's not really common to find a program or individuals who care so much about a school or individuals, and we can't say enough about Paws for Tails program, and more specifically Mary and Garrett, our team that comes.
With Garrett, I feel more calm and I read fluently more. I like that he snuggles with me, and then I feel more safe.
He's very intuitive with children. So Garrett has a kind, gentle heart, and he has a good story to tell to the students that just because you fail at something or aren't good at something, there's something else waiting for you down the road that's going to be better for you. And he's a prime example of that. So I'm very proud of him and the work that he's doing.
And they have seen a passion for reading and increased literacy scores from the students who have worked with Garrett and Mary in the Paws for Tails program.
You can just see an overall improvement in the student as a whole, not just in here when they're in the Paws for Tails program, but in the classroom. The teachers report that to us on a daily basis.
It's been a miracle to see the transition in the students.
I feel really good that I get to read with a dog.
I was on mute. I muted myself. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, this was a great show. I really appreciate everybody being on. Thank you, Lou Cataruza. And in all fairness, I have to say that I asked him to be on the show at the last minute, and he wasn't prepared, so he was using his iPhone. Otherwise, he would have been so I don't think that the audio was as good as we wanted it to be, but it was just great.
The content was there.
Yeah, the content was there. Yeah. So
the message came across.
Exactly. So, well, Gaetan, wonderful show. I will see you
Betty,
next week.
Wonderful show. Thank you for putting the show together.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.